Oh, hold on, gotta do this right, hold on. Ah, there we are. Well, now it's time for the stream. Oh dear, just got off to doing some other casting for other people, but here to join you for a fun time of ECS matches and caster challenge. Of course, I did do this one, and I did succeed last year, so last season I should say. But it's good to be back doing this challenge. Good to be with you today. As I do hope you the best in trying to particularly pick it up.
Yeah, it'd be pretty awesome to go over to California this time, which is just crazy compared to last time. I mean, going to London, awesome. That studio, fantastic. But California, trip over to the sunshine compared to the UK. I'd quite like that. So we are going to be seeing Gambit start out on the CT side. Kinguin, they're going to be over towards the T side. And now I do know this is one of Kinguin's old preferred maps. Obviously, be one of the Polish top teams. Trying to see what they can do. We have seen them go up against Pride in this sort of season so far and had a little bit of a difficulty. So we're going to see what they can do against the powerhouse of Gambit. And if Hobbit are going to be looking to destroy them. So what are your sort of expectations of this game between Kinguin and Gambit?
Well, I'm expecting Kinguin to kind of relish in their T side to start things off, of course. They are, like you said, probably one of the more stronger teams over at this level of play on Cobblestone. But Gambit, well, they pulled off some very good upsets against some very good teams in some very big tournaments. So, I mean, at the end of the day, when it comes down to at the end of this matchup, it could swing either way. I'm probably going to expect an early advantage for Kinguin, as we are going to see a pistol round buy-ups already get started. Jero is going to be able to take down Zeus to start things off. 45 seconds now, and Kinguin are going to have to try and make a push. But they've got that man advantage already, so it's already a great start for the Polish team. Here we go, out towards long. Mo's going to see what he can find, but not much going to be found just yet.
But there we go, he does eventually find a kill, but the trade comes out. Miku going nice, but Adrian's going to have to do a lot of trades here. He gets some damage, but he's not going to get quite the kill. But Miku's going to walk straight into his crosshair, going to get dropped. Garrick trying to make it onto site, taking it down to 14 HP. Not going to get dropped though. Raylan coming in from the side. Just misses the chance on Adrian there. Now look at that, Doty and Adrian making quick work of the last few players. Headshots galore. So nice and easy round there in the end for Gambit to come in here. I mean, look at that though. Adrian and Hobbit, they're united. Both 41 HP. That's impressive. And I'm just going to put my hands up. I did actually fail to unmute my microphone on XSplit, so no one has any idea who you are. So
does that mean that my little like can opening?
That was the whole opening thing. No one else heard anything else apart from that. So this is Jay, aka Switchblade Jay. He's going to be joining me tonight. I hope you guys enjoy it. Another UK caster. He did actually win last season's casted challenge of ECS season 2. And he's come back around to help me out tonight and do some casting. We are casting together over at eFrag as well. Or have done once so far. Probably more are coming up tomorrow night at, what time in the UK? I think it's like 5 o'clock, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, nonetheless, going into the second round, so Gambit going to be able to win the first round.
Yeah, great start from that CT side, of course. Kinguin not doing, not finding the best of times, but they are only going to have the eco round coming out here. Of course, Mo's going to have a good time cleaning things up. Just the P250s out to remain for this T side. And, well, not much more. Excuse me, I shouldn't have decided to open and drink a soft drink at the start of this particular stream.
Yeah,
so,
soft drink, not a beer. Right.
Not a beer, no, just a but, yeah, no, just the 3-on-5 coming in. Gambit having no problems just to clean things up. Flyon's going to go aggressive and get taken down very quickly. So once again, this is the standard CS meta coming in here with the SMGs, just cleaning things up, getting the money for the Gambit side. And Kinguin is looking for whatever they can, in which case it's going to be 1 kill, but probably not much more than that to take things out. So Zeus will finally trade out Michu. Now Zeno is going to be the last man alive to fall, eventually with a bomb getting dropped. There we are, 2 rounds on the board for a CT side.
Yeah, doing pretty good here. Adrian, who hasn't actually dropped at all, so only player on the CT side not to have a death on the score award for himself. And Hobbit's going to be the one with no kills. Has got some assists, though. That's all good. So we're going to be going into the third round. The buy-up coming out from Team Kinguin. They did get the bomb down into the first round, so that's a fantastic play there. They're going to have the AK-47s and the UMP on Raylan, who does buy up some extra utility. That grenade and Molotov could change the course of the round, so you never know. Zeus, he's going to be going over towards long. He's going to flash out as well, looking for the peak. Doesn't get quite the information, but the spray was there down towards mid, so he does know someone's over there. But is he going to notice there's 2 Ts waiting to push here? As Hobbit chucks down that grenade, trying to get some early damage. Only does 1 though. Ferlin are not going to be too angry about that. There's only 1 point of damage, is going to be too much. And look at this, over towards long. The aggression's come out, and Zeus is going to be meeting head up with them in any second.
He'll spray through the smoke and get tag damage onto Malzinho, but oh, not much coming out so far for the CT side. Just tag damage, little bits of tag damage here and there. No particular picks coming in for either side. Hobbit's down at 57 HP, so all in all, the health advantage does slightly favour Gambit here. A minute to go now. Bomb's on its way to rotate towards the A side, so they might try for another A split here. They've got to deal with a Dren who's holding very close face here, and this one could fall apart very quickly if Kinguin don't check their corners. As it will be a straight push, well, it does look like it's going to be a straight push from the site here. Two heading up towards long, so actually I take it back for being a straight push, it might be a split here, but they're going to run the clock down very, very close here. And already I've seen several times today where in some matches where teams have just managed to fall apart because they get that one kill on the bomb planters. It's going to be the double spray coming in from Zeus, taking down two. Furlan is going to get one in trade, but a Dren's there to take him right back out of the action. A 2-on-4 situation. The bomb's in CT control, and this one should be all over for Kinguin, as they pretty much have no choice but to save or go for Broken. In this case, Broke is all they will have now. Round going to get a Dren, but it's still a 2-on-3 that massively favours Gambit. This round is most certainly to their favour, as the AK will get picked up and Kinguin will decide to run away with their lives and offer Gambit a third round.
Yeah, and Raymond there doing his impression of Foon as he jumps past Gero. And Gero's just going to be hiding away. He doesn't want to get tapped away. He's only got 9 HP. And you were talking about teams falling apart, and that really did happen there. The bomb pushing towards ramp, sort of mid-area alone. That's just crazy. You just instantly give up so much. Well, basically the round in the end, in a lot of situations, they didn't have the utility or buy to be able to recover that. So they do keep the 2 AKs going to this next round. They're going to have the Tech 9s and some utility. On the other side, Gambit, they're going to be upgrading a few of their guns. They picked up 2 AKs, so that's pretty nice for these guys. As the Ts, they are going to be looking to go a little bit of aggressive over towards the B here. See Miles is setting up for that smoke as well. Not sure where that's going to be aimed for. Further doors. Smokes are going to be executed. Rainland going to be entering in through. Laphammer picks up 1 kill, but Mo going in for the trade. He's going to be able to pick it up. Hobbit comes in with the M4, takes down Miku. And Adrian from the side. He's going to be able to get one. No, Hobbit steals it, but he's going to get traded out. And that's all over in a flash as Adrian and Mu are going to be able to pick up the... Or Mo, rather, going to be able to pick up the final 2 kills. And the T is going to be pushed further back, and they're going to have to go into a partial buy here, Jay.
Yeah, it does look like it. Well, I mean, yeah, they should be able to get themselves out something decent here, but for Kinguin, it looks like they're just going to go for the pistols instead. So just the little bit of utility, so there is going to be a little bit on the board for them. 2 smokes, a couple flashbangs, which does look like they're going to try to set up an execution here. And with where Rallen is heading himself over towards, it might end up being towards the B side. Smoke is used, so I guess execution is kind of out of the question for all these pistols. And at most, they will be looking for only the bomb plant heading quickly on towards site here. But Kinguin, I mean, their T side has been kind of scattered here. We haven't really been seeing any sort of formulated sort of strategy from their side. They've just kind of been spreading out across the map, looking for that control and looking for those picks. And Gambit, with their current setup, they're just not biting at all. So Kinguin need to try and find something a little bit different here and try to find just, you know, some sort of way into the sites and try to get a bomb down, because at this rate you're going to start losing rounds. You'll be up to a 5-round loss bonus, the 4-round loss bonus, and Gambit will just roll their way onto taking control here. It's going to be challenged out towards the drop down area. Dozier sprays like a madman, takes damage and takes down Furlan as well. Ryan's there to trade, but he's not going to find a second kill. So back to a 4-on-4. The AWP does chime in, peeks back around, looks for the second and drops the bomb, gets the information for Gambit, and now we're down to a 2-on-3 situation. AWP recovered, but it is still just Michu alone now for his team here. With the bomb in his hands, back towards A long. No time to rotate. He'll have to hit the A site, and already Gambit have rotated to try and lock this one out. Dozier first man in, proring for information, but he will hear that scoping. He's also going to catch the position of Michu. 25 seconds tagged up through the wall, and a Dren taps away through the wall to find the kill, and Gambit, a 5th round, excuse me, will be on the board for their CT side.
Nice scoreline as well, and I'm just going to say straight off the bat, why did Kinguin not ban this map? I know Kinguin like to feel like they're very confident on this map as well, but just history for Tales, Gambit can just smash it out on this map, and they actually early on they went 16-3 against playing Ducks. I think it was in the ESE league. That's painful, and Gambit can do that to a lot of teams, not just some of the lower teams like this playing Ducks there. And to be straight off, we're going to be seeing the divide coming out from the T side. Aggression over towards long. Gary not going to be able to land that shot, but at the same time, he did manage to live, so he doesn't take it down. He's at least got that going for him there, Jay.
Yeah, definitely. And the setup now for this next round is going to be the AWP setup for both teams, one on Jero, one onto Mo. First pick does come in favour, as Gambit are slightly edged out here. The UMP versus the full AK buy-up of the Kinguin side. Adren did recover that AK-47 from the last round, but it's still an SMG versus 4 rifles, and more typically, as tradition should have it, the rifles should win in a battle of the wits and the battle of the damage here. Where Dozier himself, he's got himself a nice battle of the strategy, and he's going to take down Furlong. Didn't even expect it. Back to a 4-on-4. The trade-outs and the double kill comes in from Dozier, so it works out well for them. He only loses 8 HP, and now has 3 players left alive for the Kinguin side. Mishu takes down Adren. 3 players left alive. Gerald's going to make it now 2. As Mo goes falling, and 1 tap is all Mishu needs to take down Hobbit. So now Dozier left the lone man alive. Strategy's not going to save you in a 1 versus 3, mate, and that UMP will go falling, and Kinguin will have their first round.
Yeah, it was a really nice round for them as well. I mean, they dropped 2 players, but in return, they managed to get the win. So we are not going to be able to see the buy coming out from Gambit, and they're going to have to try and play a little bit differently, play a little bit more aggressively, potentially, or just try and continue doing what they're doing. Dozier managed to pick up those 2 kills with the UMP. It was fantastic. But the rest of the players, they didn't really have any sort of advantage over the sort of Kinguin there. They just lost the battles. And Hobbit over towards A, he should have a good idea where the player was pushing onto the site. But he just really just left himself open and peeking around that corner. So quite wide. Just go find it. So we are going to be seeing sort of an upper dropper completely cut off. And now we're going to be seeing the T's back off, playing a little bit more passively. You might even see the boost coming out here. Adrian, Dozier, smoke it off, flash it off. Might even be able to boost, but they are just going to be backing off here. Not going to be playing aggressive. Going to see what is going to be happening over towards A, and that's going to be the T's. They're going to be playing aggressively, and Gyero, he's going to get the pick on Adrian. This is going to be fantastic. Opens up the A site, but Zeus is still here over towards long. Looking to do some damage. The grenade drops Miku down to 84 HP, but he's not scared off easily. He's still looking in for the peak. The reload has to come in from Zeus. He is backed up by Molo. They have to be careful if they lose too many players. They're already outnumbered. Hobbit over towards platform here, but Mo it switches back to him as he picks up the kill on Miku, taking them out to a 4-on-4. But unfortunately for them, we're going to be seeing the T's rush over towards the B site, trying to get the execute here. Going in from platform. Marzinho coming in through a drop, but he's going to be in head-to-head with Mo if he's not careful. That AWP isn't going to be good enough from that angle. So they've dropped down on towards site here. The smoke going to be coming out. Hobbit going to be looking to counter some counter shots. The AWP coming in from Gero, picks off Hobbit. And now Mo, he's exposed himself, but Zeus going to get dropped as Mo jumps over the shot there. Marzinho coming in from the side. They're left in a 2-on-2 situation. UMP, AWP is going to get dropped, leaving Dozier in a very difficult situation. He comes up from behind, but he's being spotted. Raylan snaps his head off. And that's going to be the second round on the board in a row for Kinguin.
Yeah, good stuff from this T side. Definitely more formulated than that last one, but they did lose quite a number of players to the Gambit side to remain alive for the T side. But at the very least, it is damage that is done and damage that should be recovered in this next round, as it will be Gambit with the full eco here. Well, almost full eco actually. P250 CZs, Deagles. They've had armor out for Adren as well. But other than that, they're going to be playing close range angles, looking for those close range picks and looking to shot. Wow, I really shouldn't have drank any Coke before I started this. It will be Gambit. Well, starting to push up here. Mo is going to go get taken down. Down to a 4-on-5 already. Kinguin taking themselves a quick man advantage.
Yeah, so even if they've got the pistols, they could still get a lot of damage out here. I mean, that Deagle CZ, playing them correctly, they can get some kills. And Zeus, he's over towards wood. That's not really the best position for it. You want to be playing slightly different. I mean, if you push up towards long, could get some kills. Tees, though, they've got some other ideas. Well, he's going to get tagged down to 63 earlier on. Dozier's going to get dropped, so that's just another USP taken down to the pistols. Otherwise, it's still alive. We're going to be seeing a Deagle over towards Fountain, Statue even. He's going to be able to get a kill as well. This is some fantastic sort of economical damage, but I don't think he's going to get another chance. Head going to get snapped off. Garen going to be able to pick up Zeus. Hobbit for the USP does get a tap onto Miku as well. Drops him down to 41 HP. So it's actually a bit closer than they might have wanted. So the buy going to be coming out from Gambit. We're going to be seeing the M4's AWP, which is going to be a glass cannon. We're going to be able to see if that's going to get shattered or if he's going to be able to live the dream and get some nice picks. So currently 5-3 on the board, guys. Round 9.
Yeah, AWP glass cannon, a very, very risky setup to run here on Cobblestone. Mainly because Kinguin, especially in rushes and situations like that where they can get themselves on the board very, very quickly, if they can get themselves out towards their site and do some serious damage to Mo, then that would be extremely damaging to him. Fortunately, he's playing a very nice setup in the sense that he's backed off very, very far and trying not to get himself into any situation where Kinguin can kind of sneak up on him. But for them, it's going to be that extra advantage, especially if they're taking the AKs, because one headshot shuts them down immediately. That's an AWP straight out of the action for the Gambit side, and so that's why that AWP play is, or that AWP setup is extremely difficult for the Gambit to work off of Mo in particular. So for Kinguin, they will try and work with that if they can spot him out, but so far the early damage does go to the favour of Gambit, rounding down to 56, Furlan down to 79. And so far it will be actually the execution coming in over towards the B site and towards drop down, grenade damage, flashbangs. We'll push Dozier away, and a good rotation that comes out from Gambit with 4 players now set up to defend this B site. And Hobbit is going to be able to get himself a very nice headshot to start things off.
Yeah, Raylan looked to pick up that AWP. He's got 56 HP, but you don't need too much HP to get some kills with that. But then dedicating himself over towards drop, he wants to try and take down Dozier. Zeus is there as well. Now Hobbit looking to back up platform. He's going to be able to take down Miku, and that's the bomb player. They just sacrificed the bomb straight down on towards the B, so they're dedicating Malzinho. He's going to get tapped away. Whilst Dozier picks up the AK and gets a kill onto Raylan. So that's a nice round for Gambit right there. And now they need to try and follow up with this round, take the win, shut down Team Kinguin's economy, and to be able to try and recover some of these rounds that they have lost on this half. And they really want to try and get the fast sort of push on these rounds to get the advantage quite early on. So for AK by and the AWP coming out on Garen, we did see him early on get taken out by Hobbit, who had the M4. As Garen thought he could hide on those boxes. Unfortunately, he left himself a little bit too exposed. He gets dropped, so the AWP going to beacon over towards Long, gets the kill. Furlan already out of this round, and the grenade going to be able to do a little bit of damage. Only 7 points of damage on the AWP player, Garo. So Zeus looking to smoke off as well, trying to cut off any sort of pushes off into that drop area. And he's going to be able to rotate back over towards Long and have Dozier, the usual drop down player, with the UMP. A fantastic weapon for that angle. Always has been. What's the tease? And they now know they're a man down, so they want to try and get the pick and take their fights carefully. And we are going to be seeing the rotation from the bomb come through connector, go towards mid, and they have to be careful not to expose themselves too much, because Mo is over towards the A site, so rotated from his usual spot over towards B, which he's played multiple times. Towards the A side, and he takes the shot. He's going to miss it. The double peek from the T's comes out. They do get some damage, but not quite the kill. Onto Adrian, who has also got another AWP over towards A, and look at this peek coming out. Dozier getting spotted almost through the wall. The quick click comes on Mo, takes him down to 8 HP.
That was very, very good. The tag with no frag, it was like it was almost meant to be, like one of those situations where you think you killed the guy, but no, you just shot him in the shoulder. In this case, it's going to be literally the case. Mo down at 8 HP, trying to land the pick. He takes him out on the funny bone of all things, taking down Jero, going in for a second, takes down Mo's, knows that there's more back towards the backboards. A 2 versus 4, 1 versus 4, as Dozier is left to clean up the pieces, almost finishes it off. An AWP from Rowland is still going to be in play, and Zeus is going to shut it down. 7 rounds on the board for the Gambit team. The AWP is picked up, and Gambit will still have a double AWP set up for this next round.
Yeah, well, of all places to hit the funny bone and not to kill him, it's going to be disappointing and painful when they look back at the footage, as I think he had 8 HP, ended up pretty much doing the highest impact kills he could against Team Kinguin, really shutting down their push, which is very unfortunate, because if they'd been able to take him out, that might have been the round in towards their favour, but no, they managed to take it and to be able to shut down the economy on the side of Kinguin, so we're going to be seeing a couple of P250s come out, some armor on Malzinho, no utility. It's going to be very hard for them to be able to execute, so they're going in for the early kills. Mario, even with the USP, he's going to get a kill, but the trade comes out, and that's a fantastic trade. AWP recovered. Miku going over towards Long, goes in for the taps. He actually does quite a few love taps there, and he's going to be able to get Zeus down to 81 HP, not too much. Furlan a little bit disappointed, thought there was going to be a pistol there. Now Raylan with the bomb, he's going to be peeking in. Adrian saw him, he gave him a chance to get away. Potentially feeling a little bit sorry. Malzinho with the AWP, takes in with the trade. Miku going to get dropped, but Zeus at the same time going to get taken down. So economy getting punished on the CT side, but the grenades, the Molotov going to be shutting them down. And also that AWP coming out from Adrian. It's going to be very hard to peek past him, especially as there's no utility. Apart from actually one flash over towards Long, so Furlan has got that, but they are getting snuck up on. Dozier with the UMP.
A 3 versus 3 situation, considering Gambit basically had only pistols to work with. Kinguin only had pistols to work with in this round. It's not been that bad out of them. Rowland's still got himself a P250, but other than that, they've recovered an AWP and they've recovered an M4 to work with. So for them, This is not even that bad of a round. They will have to watch out for a backstab coming in on the part of Dozier. So if he can line himself up right, that'll be good. And he will do so. Takes the first and the second, drops them both. And now this round should be all but done. Rallen, not much he can do here. Back towards the middle area. Dozier's trying the wall bangs, but it's not coming in so far. They've got his angles totally locked out. One peek is all he needs to take to cut this one down. And Hobbit will take the headshot for the 8th round. And the CT half in the favor of Gambit Gaming. But you can't deny that, like I said earlier, Kinguin managing to find themselves a lot of damage with their very little investment. And if they can keep that up for the rest of this half and try and find themselves some good rifle rounds on the board, then that'll be very, very good. But they need to find those rifle rounds at the end of the day, which at the moment they seem to be struggling to doing here.
Yeah, so just keeping the pressure on the economy of Gambit, shutting them down from that point. But it's going to be very difficult. They have got the full AK buy, full utility. So going into this round, they can have a very good chance. I mean, they did a very fantastic work with the pistols, like you mentioned. Doing a lot of damage. The damage at the same time is going to be coming straight back on them, as that is they get 8th round on the board for Gambit within this half. Kinguin, they've only got 3 on the board so far. And to reflect back to what I said earlier, playing Ducks only managed to get 3 rounds on the board earlier on today. So Gambit have completely warmed up on this map. The second map will be an interesting one as well. We will see them going over towards Overpass, which is obviously Kinguin's choice. Back to this one. We have got a sort of a push over towards A coming out from the T's, but they haven't fully dedicated here. They have got 2 players over towards B as well, keeping that distraction. And if they're not careful, the full rotation could come in over towards B, which is sort of A, which is not what they want, because they want to keep these players busy over towards the B site. And the bomb is still there, potentially looking to go in for a bit of a sort of split move over towards A. It would be a triple split as well.
Early damage favor of Gambit. Team Rallen down to 53. Still a double up setup in play for the Gambit boys, and they've managed to work it out so well so far, but that's the first orb almost falling. I did think it was actually Mobear, but he's going to get taken down at 2 HP, so this next shot, this next challenge should just shut him down. It will do so. Literally there. They able to get 1 Hobbit and a Dren trade. Jero getting Hobbit back, so now it is a 3-on-2, 20 seconds on the clock, but Rallen's got himself basically free access to the A site, so they should be able to get them bombed down and get themselves those extra 40 seconds. And it looks like Gambit are already in retreat here, back towards the connector drop-down area. It looks like they're holding out and trying not to get themselves killed, so already they've given up the round, and a great round out of Kinguin will force Gambit into a bit of awkward situations here. They've got some money on their side, but when you take a look at it, it's a little bit lopsided, and 3 players sitting at about 3,400, 4,700 roughly in that general area. You still got 2 others, Dozier and Zeus, who are sitting at just a little bit over $1,000. So with the next 1,400 income that they've got, if they wanted to buy, it would be a little bit difficult and definitely wouldn't be the best that they have in the world here. But for the time being, it will be Team Kinguin start getting themselves a 4th round on their side. And there we are.
Yeah, I imagine if they are going to buy up, it will be a double UMP buy, and then 2 extra M4s on their side. A few diffuse kits, I imagine, sort of being involved there if they do have the spare cash. And it's sort of really going forward with that play. I mean, Dozier already got that UMP, can make full use out of it. They did have quite... Well, are we going to be seeing the triple? Triple M4, there we go. Okay, it is out. And we have got AWP. So I was slightly wrong on that call, but you know what? I thought they might just want to go in for the UMP play, the lovely meta. But Dozier, the dedicated UMP player, is going to stick to the only one. Keeps us going for the last round. Moving forward. So currently 4 rounds on the board for Kinguin, trying to bring it back. They've got 3 more rounds to put on the board if they can win the next 3 in a row. Because there's currently 8 rounds on the board for Gambit. We're going into round 13. We're going to be seeing a high presence of T's over towards B. The bomb going to get dropped though. They keep it passive. Wait for the kills. And what really won them that last round was the passiveness and the patience that they had trying to execute down in towards, sort of drop down and in towards mid. So when that eventually came out, it really helped them.
Yeah, right now we presence out towards, well, pretty much the same sort of areas, out towards drop down, out towards mid. Not much towards B long here, which is definitely something that Gambit are expecting. Hobbit's getting himself out towards Matrix to try and spot out any of the Kinguin boys, but he did take first picks from that position as well previously. So it wouldn't surprise me if his idea has been to try and go for that every single round, and Team Kinguin have kind of read onto it. So now I'll take a passive angle back towards Chicken Coop. Beryl will get himself a little bit of aggression, so he will find that area slightly clear here. But the first challenge does come on through, and Dozy is going to take down Round and start things off further. Also going to get the trade back, and Zeus back towards the aggression in the middle will drop the bomb, and this round should already be over. Jero, you can shoot your LWP as much as you like, but it's not going to matter because the bomb is in CT control. The CTs have rotated to defend it, and Hobbit has taken you down. So Furlan and Michu now going to have to try a retake of their own on the bomb right there. Goes for the first. Zeus gets himself a triple kill in the round to bring a knife towards the Gambit side. And Kinguin gets shut down just like that. They are going to be back to pistols, if not a very dodgy force play.
Yeah, that is not going to be looking so healthy for them. And that play from Zeus, absolutely fantastic. Picking up the final 2 kills. And you must be feeling a little bit disappointed on Kinguin's side to being shut down like that, and again the bomb lost so early on in the round. So we're going to be seeing 3 Tech-9s coming out on their side, the P250 on Malzinho and the AK on Raylan. So he's going to have to do a lot of work here. But those Tech-9s can do a lot of work. They're going to have to do quite a lot of work. They're going through this smoke and Molotov. They're going to be able to push through. Adrian get dropped down quite low, but Dozier Hobbit chiming in with 2 kills of their own. But Garo, he's going to come in, pick up Dozier's UMP, and he's going to be looking to try and make full use out of the AK player. Still alive. Flash coming out from Adrian. As we're going to see the push come out and the kill. Raylan gets the one he needs, but he's going to get boosted up. Spots out. Adrian takes the kill. Gets almost shot by the AWP. Now Zeus knows exactly where they are. He's looking for the peak. His aim is crisp. He's looking for it. Now he's pushing in. Gets the kill, and Raylan. We're going to be seeing Malzinho dropped as well. So round
10-4.
10-4.
Sorry.
It's almost over.
Something there. I was going to say this half is almost done. Yeah, you're right. 15 rounds on the board here, and Team Kinguin have only been able to get 4 of them. So it will just be the Tech-9s, the AKs on Michu. Furlan got himself the UMP, and this has not been a very good T side at all for the Polish team. Definitely going to be difficult for them going forward here. Double up setup out for Gambit once again. They've worked it well so far, but why not just keep on going here? So Kinguin right now, they're setting up a very similar setup to we've seen before, just spread out across the map, trying to find those first picks, and all in all just not managing to find anything in the interim as the starting point of this particular round. As Hobbit takes down Mishu, already we've lost the AK. For Kinguin now, it's going to have to be the formulated push, but Mo's got himself the second AWP, a third kill coming in for AWPs in this round. It's just been Tech-9s and AWPs so far, so well. Now it will be Hobbit, Val finally going down. Hobbit's got the second AWP. Ryan's got himself the UMP as well for Kinguin, and a minute to go now. He's going to rotate either to long or to B site. It looks like he's actually going to go back towards the middle instead, and Zeus is there to shut him down, and there we are. Malzinho alone with a Tech-9 armor and a dream to find Kinguin a 5th round. I'm going to make himself known, taps away onto a Adren, takes him down, but Zeus is there to spray him away. A double kill for him in the round, an 11th round on the board for Gambit, and for Kinguin, that was a bit of a crushing situation.
Yeah, very, very painful to watch when you sort of mentioned a few times, sort of very early on to the game, where we have seen teams just fall apart. Well, not completely fall apart, but when their strategies just don't work out, then they're like, well, hang on, what do we do? Now, that seems to have happened a few times. They brought it back on one of the ones where they went for the very patient player towards A, had the split coming in towards mid, but as soon as they don't have those players sort of work out, they don't really have the backup plan to come through and then try and force the win nonetheless. So we're going to be going into the second half. Utility buy is going to be out on Zeus on the T side, Molotov 2 flashes. CT side, we're going to see Raylan with that defuse kit. He's got the double flashes, and he's going to be situated over towards the B site, and that's going to be exactly where the T's are going to be going, but they're going to get 2 entry kills straight down. Job going to be opened up. Furlan going to be able to pick up 1 with the USP, but he's going to get tagged down. The Molotov burning him alive. Hobbit coming in, takes down Furlan with the hedge of the clock, no less, and Miku going to get dropped. Gera, last player left alive, eventually takes down Hobbit, but going to have to spray away. We see Doja get the final kill on Gera there, as they only lose 2 players. And they're going to be able to get the plant as well in the end, so that's going to be situating themselves very nicely, whereas Team Kinguin, they're going to be forcing up into this round, or at least Malzinho, Gero, and Raylan. Oh, there we go. Buying up their guns, and I mean, it's already looking to set the course. First default round out, they're already going in towards Gambit's favour.
Yeah, not a good sign for Kinguin whatsoever. They got themselves a small buffer, so they can survive a pistol loss and conversions. But after that, the rifle round is going to be all they need to. That's all they're going to have as a lifeline, as they will have themselves just the CZ pistols, like you said. And they will go out towards standard, more like close range defensive angles, not standard angles, that's for sure. And Gambit, well, they will also take things a little bit slowly because you can see that from the Gambit side in particular, they are holding some corners, expecting Gambit to kind of give away themselves, or not like give themselves away, but in more cases than not, just try and go fast out of sight. And for them, for Kinguin, they want to try and punish as soon as they can and try and punish them as hard as they can, as it will be, well, slow play from this T side, of course. Don't want to make any of those mistakes. They know that they have to go eventually, and when they do execute, they're not going to give Kinguin any particular advantage. Instead, they're going to gain themselves as much of an advantage as they can. In this case, that advantage is going to be tag damage. Furlan and Mozinho going to go down with particular ease. 2 traded out for 1. Mo's down to 2 HP, so it's not all just bad news for the Kinguin side. To see if they can try and find that second kill and do some damage. But the bomb will go down here, so for Team Kinguin, options need to be weighed. Do they go for it? Or do they save and to at least have something a little bit better into the next round? Which, by the looks of things, they're going to go for the latter as they're held back towards the A site and are not setting up a retake.
I mean, it'd be very difficult for them to be able to get anything there, and in the end, it's like risk versus reward. Even if they get a few kills, Gamma's still going to be able to force up into the next round, and quite likely going to be able to pick up the sort of third round as well. With Team Kinguin, they're going to have to eco onto the next one, so at least if they do this, they have 3 sets of armor and some pistols, which they're going to be able to do some extra damage onto Gambit on. But talking of which, Gara is going to be being straight up. If he can pick up the AK, no. Halbert, though, with that Mac 10, going to be able to pick up the AK, peek around the corner. They're so close there to Raylan, but doesn't seem like they are going to be meeting up with him, as he isn't going to be playing too aggressively. As I say that, he does prove me wrong. Peeks around the corner, doesn't go face-to-face with anyone. And I think we might see one pistol there. Mozinho is going to be able to buy one Garo as well. But then he is at the 1900, so he doesn't really want to spend too much cash. I think Amigu has dropped one over to him, though. And we are going to be going forward into round 18. Third round of the second half here. Team Kinguin falling by the wayside there. Mixing up my words. And we're going to be seeing aggressive play coming up over towards Long and drop down. Hobbit making quick work. He loves these SMGs, but the first frag comes down to Zeus. Hobbit gets the trade end onto Gero. Look at these Mag 10s ripping into them and gaining so much cash here, Jay, for Team Gambit. It's a final person left alive, Miku, and some armor.
Yeah, not much you can do here. Just the PT50. Once again, silver linings for Kinguin. Dozier and Hobbit on 4 and 12 HP respectively, but other than that, that's all they're going to get here. Just a couple of kills, just 1 kill in particular, but just falling apart at the first hurdle. And Gambit just looking to try and close things down. Michu will actually get a kill, get himself a Galil for the next round. Or just get a Galil in general, take it out of the hands of Gambit. So that's lost investment. But at the end of the day, Gambit, of course, getting some very nice kills in their particular favour. Michu will be able to take a second as well, so the round will be kind of expensive for the T side, and Kinguin will have themselves a buy up here. So when you take a look at the current setup of the Gambit side, they are going to invest pretty heavily into this one with the AWP, and of course the Dren having to buy back as well, $250 in the bank for him. But they have still got 2 power players in terms of that money, and if Zeus stays alive in this round, then he shouldn't have any problems with his economy. So all in all, not bad to be Gambit if you are living in their particular residence of per capita. I don't know what the money the name that means the money per person is short. They're doing good for that one. Team Kinguin going to get themselves out the 5 M4s and try and see if they can set up a decent defensive. Like I said, it's all in this rifle round. 1 round after this is going to be back to the eco, and Gambit could potentially take it right over the edge.
I find it funny, you mentioned 2 players last round. At this peak, though, Raylan going to be able to tap down Molan, rather, and Adrian going to get dropped. And this is a CT shutting down Gambit, punishing them for these SMG plays they've done previously. And Hobbit, through the smoke, going to get dropped. And going back to the point I said before, I was rudely interrupted by this team. You mentioned Dozier and Hobbit. I think it was 4 HP and 12 HP, and they're the only 2 to actually end up surviving. Which tickled my humour. And they're going to go into this one, forcing up, spending every little bit of cash. Hobbit, Dozier, going to be digging deep, and Zeus as well. Going to be leaving no cash spare. Apart from 1.8 on Dozier there, so they have got a little bit. And Mo, I'm not even quite sure what's going on there, mate. He's lagging a little bit strange. Nonetheless, we are going to be going into round 20. Kinguin picking up the first round of this half. Gambit going to be trying to bring this back if they can. They'll shut down Team Kinguin's hopes and dreams as they get round 15. Renan has been boosted up over towards long, so if Miku backs off, they've still got that option. Over towards B, we have got 2 CTs, and also in towards door on A site, we have got a CT, sort of holding the rotation so you can push over. Flash from Furlan's going to be coming out, allowing him to peek around the corner, but no one is there to meet him and greet him. Miku. Dozier, though, he's been spotted, and his head's going to get dropped. That's going to be the first kill. The T's are losing any kind of advantage they had with their AKs, as they're now outnumbered.
Kinguin cleaning things up, starting to shut things down. The question is, will Gambit find themselves a kill they need to even things up? Because Gambit right now, they're sitting on the edge of a knife, although I'm just going to shut up because Jero's just going to get some sick AWP shots and Kinguin just going to shut things down. So I can talk about potential for Gambit to bring a reset around all I want to, but in the end, for this round, it's not going to happen. And now it will be down to the 14-6. Now Gambit just going to be having themselves, well, what should be an eco round, if not a force buy. Actually, a force buy will come through. Full Tech 9 armors. A little bit of utility to spare as well. A couple of smokes, couple of flashbangs. 2 Molotovs in particular. So what most likely will end up being the flashes and executions coming in from the Gambit side to try and get the bomb down quickly is exactly what will be the play here. 1-for-1 trade out. Malzinho is going to be able to get Zeus, but Hobbit trades out further and back towards the cubby hole against Edwin. Dozier and Mishu chiming their way on 3.3, on 2 and 3, on 1 as Gambit, well, the force buy will not work out at all for them. Wasted investment down to the 7 rounds of the Kinguin side, and they're going to have nothing, well, almost nothing to work with in the next one.
Yeah, some really nice shots there, nice and clean from Miku, switching straight onto the head, finish them off, and really going to be able to bring them into this next round, and we're going to be seeing another partial buy come out from Gambit, spending a little bit too much in the next round. They'll be able to buy them nice and healthily into the next one, but look at this economy, though, on the CTs. They're starting to build a little bit of a bank. 2 of the players quite low, 3.8k and 1.2k on Furlan and Malzinho, but we've got 8.1k on Garen. He's the AWP player, so he's still going to be able to have another one, but he might need to soon. He's going to get dropped. No, Raylan gets the sort of back up there and punishes Mo for his aggressiveness, and that grenade could take him out. Does a lot of damage, but Raylan's AK is going to be able to finish him off. Whilst I say that, though, Miko does get killed. Adrenaline trying to go in for that connector push. Not going to happen. Hobbit. He's going to be the last man standing, the Deagle in hand, looking to try and get a frag. It's not going to happen. Furlan going to be able to get the final drop, and that's going to be the 8th round on the board for Team Kinguin. Looking pretty happy with themselves as we go into the 23rd round and Gambit's next buy round.
Gambit still teetering on the edge. That map point is definitely within their grasp, and I mean, these T-sides are definitely not what I was expecting. We often do say that Cobblestone is traditionally a T-sided map and a slight defense. Yes, there has been some balancing changes towards the B site in particular, but honestly, I still think that T-side is definitely the favored one here. So maybe we're seeing a switch in meta, because this isn't the first time today that I've seen a Cobblestone map played like this. For Kinguin, however, it will work to their advantage. They will start to get themselves back together, up to 8-14. Adren, however, is going to be able to take one out of the action for the Gambit side as advantage. Still one holding towards a corner. Dozier just spots him out, and around us 4. That's with 3, a 2 on 5. As now Furlan and Michu, last 2 alive for Kinguin to try and keep Gambit from taking this map point. It will be Michu falling Furlan getting one back. A second spray down, a third spray down. No, it's not going to happen. Gambit up 15-8 now. They're going to have themselves match point here for the first map of our best of 2 series.
That was such a clean execute, and that's what I want to be seeing from teams like Gambit. They do it so well, and we're talking about how this isn't how we would expect a T side, but those rounds are what I expect from the T side, especially from Gambit, and they do exactly that, proving us right. So we are going to be seeing a double AWP and a Scar, aka spam cannon, coming out on Malzinho. Where is that going to be situated? That's going to be an interesting one. He's going to be over towards the B site and just sitting around statue area. Not going to be pushing too aggressively, but the three snipers, that's going to be dangerous, playing at those angles. Ren has got the AWP. He is holding along with it as well. If he gets pushed too aggressively, he hasn't got anyone to really back him up. The rotation's going to be coming in. The push from the T's, looking to push up onto the A side. This could be the potential end for Kinguin if they're not careful. The flash is coming out. The back counter smokes. The rotation has come out. Now Miku going in through the Hobbit hole. He's going to be able to pick off Dozier. Picks off 2, but he's going to get traded out. Adren gets the kill. Whilst Mo takes down Raylan. The auto sniper comes out. He's going to get dropped though. Going to be down to a 2 on the 3. Takes down Hobbit through Hobbit hole as well, so nice little play there. The bomb has gone down. Adrian is on site. He's got very low HP, 6 on point. The peak comes out, but he's going to get the kill onto Gera there, and that's going to be the final round, guys. In and out. Gambit going to be able to get the win on their map, 16-8. Got a little bit hairy there to the end, though, Jay.
Yeah, definitely. I think Kinguin were making a little bit of a mistake to buy in that auto sniper and put it over towards the B site, or maybe they were because they were reading or trying to read onto Gambit's particularly popular B site execution. But in this case, they pulled off a switch up, and they're going to go ahead and head over towards the A site and put the bomb down and get themselves a 16-8 against Kinguin. A close, hairy round, but a round that goes to the favour of the Gambit team. Nonetheless, they'll have a 1-0 so far in our best of 2 series against the Kinguin side. What is our second map, Tom?
Our second map is going to be Overpass, and that's going to be Kinguin's favourite to be able to try and bring it back and try and win a map of their own against the Gambit. And that's going to be questionable. I mean, it's going to be very difficult to try and do that against Gambit, who have just been outplaying them in so many different ways. Obviously, Cobblestone being Gambit's preferred map. When it really comes down to it, are they going to be able to do anything else against Gambit, who have got an 80% win rate on Overpass? So that's quite impressive.
Yeah, it will be kind of difficult. I was just going to say right there, to be honest, for Kinguin, maybe quite difficult, but I think you're gonna throw over to quick break, or do you want to keep talking about things? Or?
No, we're gonna.
I don't know. It's your stream. I'm just kind of invading for gigs, to be honest.
Wow, guys, he's just invading my private space right here. I feel violated, but no, we're gonna be switching over to some more epic music, and we'll be back for the next map after a break.